I just needed a brief moment of silence for men around the world who have to deal with false accusations, who had to deal with the moment that somebody said something to you, about you, your reputation immediately falls apart. The moment that anybody has anything to say about you as a person, it immediately falls apart. What I speak on is the AH versus JD trial. Specifically, within 48 hours of accusations, this man has lost his entire career because a woman wanted to come forward as a victim of domestic violence. The evidence that was shown in this trial was not able to be shown in the UK. So when people continuously say, well, he lost in the UK, you think I'm going to take the UK's justice system seriously when they've let several middle-aged women go after of statutory rape charges of middle and high school boys off the statement that he seduced me? So in the UK, it's okay to be 35 and not be able to control your urges. You think I'm taking that shit seriously? See, 70%, the judge had kinship with AH. It was proven. The evidence wasn't. He wouldn't even allow the evidence to be presented in court. The same evidence that's being shown in this trial right now was not able to be presented to the last judge.
Pretty much what was used as conflict of interest, they got a pass.
The thing is that
when they shouldn't have.
The thing is that kills me more than anything is the fact that it only takes an accusation for all of this to happen. I don't have Johnny Depp's resources. I don't have his resources. So the moment that I get accused of anything,
it's a wrap.
It's over for me. I'm not a celebrity. I make $40,000 a year. I don't have the means to supply myself with the defenses that he has. You know what's crazy to me is there are still people that support this woman, which is just insane to me. Because tell the world that you're a victim of domestic abuse. Nobody's gonna believe you because you're a man.
The ones who are supporting her, even with all the evidence and concrete, proof that is proven, if they're still supporting her, more than likely they're just like her in some form of fashion.
There was a similar story. Not a similar story, but there was another story that happened. I don't remember the guy's name, but you guys can look this up for me, and I'll talk about that as well, where there was a football player that went to a club, rejected a woman, and then out of spite said, that man raped me. And he did 7 years of his life behind bars before they finally released him because she released a statement saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
And
I lied. After 7 years of this man's life being taken, people doing time in jail for false accusations, Which means at any point in time, I could be sitting here on this bench filming this YouTube channel, and somebody could accuse me of something right now. Somebody could accuse me of rape right now. I haven't had sex in so long, probably forgot the damn technique. like, I'm gonna need extra practice. But you want to know the thing is that kills me is the fact that what kills me more than anything is the fact that people will literally look for anything to fault JD, and that pisses me off more than anything.
Right.
That pisses me off more than anything. What I don't seem to understand, is that how, as of right now, when you hear everything that's come out, do you still sit there and think that he's still somehow at fault? Because he did alcohol and drugs? Okay, he has a history of that. Okay, he got upset and pissed off and started breaking shit. Never broke it on her face.
No.
Never took anything out on her. His agents, his former agents, lost $600 million of his money. Yeah. To you people, to the majority of you people that's commenting on his anger issues, I'd be pretty fucking pissed off too if somebody lost $600 million of my dollars. I'm not even gonna see $600 million in my lifetime. I don't know what type of money that is. That I can't explain to you what type of money that is. I will never hold $600 million in my fucking life. But I can tell you that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably break shit too. Somebody's face gotta get fucking broken. But it wasn't AH's face. He decided to break shit, drink a lot. His source of stress was her. So when he's done a significant amount of fucking alcohol and drugs, what makes you think that there has to be some sort of stress that was inducing with that? While he had a history of that, he did it even more heavily because of the stress that he was incurring from her.
Mm-hmm.
As proof of, all the recordings that they have between each other. Because, a sign of a good marriage is you having to record every little fucking aspect of it. That's a sign of a good marriage. Right. Every little fucking argument has to be recorded. Right. You gotta have a surveillance system borderlining Fort Knox.
It sounded like AH had an agenda the entire time to do anything that would ruin the image of JD. You know what I'm saying? I'm
not even gonna go with agendas here. I'm not even gonna go with agendas because I don't care about the agenda. The only thing that I care about is the fact that it's like, if you're gonna falsely accuse somebody of anything, understand the consequences behind that shit. There's no consequence, and that's the thing. There is no consequence. Because when that football player got released from the hospital from the jail, after 7 years of being falsely accused of rape, all he got was a pat on the fucking back.
My bad, you make it through pretty much type of deal.
My bad. So he lost his scholarship. He lost a potential NFL career because of a spiteful woman that couldn't handle rejection. So she threw a false rape charge on the football player.
Yeah.
Why I'm going to that case and then I'm coming back here is, do you understand the power that an accusation has, especially if it's a serious crime like domestic violence, like rape, sexual assault, harassment, any of these things that a woman pits against a man? Because a man coming out and saying this woman sexually assaulted me will get laughed at in the fucking public face.
Definitely for a great deal.
Will get fucking laughed at in social media. Ain't no way in hell that this man got sexually assaulted by this woman. If anything, he probably fucking did it. That's what they would fucking say on social media.
Like it's not possible when it actually is possible.
If JD fucking said any of the fucking words to AH that AH has said to JD in any of those fucking audio videos, he'd get locked up. He would get locked up.
Facts.
Simple as that. If you put the shoe in the other foot, he would have gotten locked up. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
You see the leaps and bounds that this man has to go through just to prove not only his innocence,
but his reputation.
Not only his reputation, but it's just the fact that what damage that you can do by simply saying he did it. You know, if Johnny Depp loses this case, I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna say it. If he loses this case, it means that it was okay for her to beat him up. It was okay for her to throw a wine bottle at him that nearly severed his finger.
Yep.
It was okay for her to stand up and falsely accuse this man.
It was okay for her to poop on his bed and all.
It was. I mean, the pooping on the bed doesn't have anything to do with the defamation. That I don't even understand.
With the abuse though.
Yeah, it does with abuse, but I don't understand about what that has to do with the defamation. That has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna look at that. What I care, I mean, that's just disgusting in itself. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, that's just disgusting in itself.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because it's very wild. But yeah, keep going.
You want to know what's crazy to me is the fact that what's not reflected in society is that women are the perpetrators of domestic violence more than men, and lesbian relationships are actually at the highest of domestic violence cases in this country. That's not reflected in society. Do you want to know why? Because the narrative of the media, because the narrative of the narrative of a society now that coats women in this victim coat, this coating of victim paint all over them, makes it seem like that they can't do no wrong when it comes to what happens with a man. Outside of a man getting stabbed to death by a woman, there's flat out murdered. I don't even fucking see it. Shit's crazy to me. This isn't just JD versus AH. This is men's rights versus AH. Because if any woman can just stand up and say that this man did this to me, with even the slightest circumstantial evidence of that man just planting himself in that location, will get him convicted. Look at every other scenario that isn't celebrity related of false accusations.
Yeah.
Man, to this day, people will literally sit there. This woman said to me on Facebook that when the judge threw out all of that evidence, which was like 70% of it, that it was in his favor.
The judge's favor?
In Johnny's favor. How the fuck is that the thing? How the fuck is that the case? How the fuck is throwing out evidence that is presented in this case that the judge didn't even care to see in his favor? Because all of this evidence isn't new. None of this shit is new.
No.
This is shit that's been happening. This is shit that happened within their marriage. And she has history of domestic violence. She got arrested for beating the shit out of her ex-wife. Because supposedly she goes both ways. She's still a victim? Wow. Wow.
That was right.
Fucking wow. What I have to ask, what I have to ask more than anything is what can be put in place to protect us from false accusations?
It's a good question.
What can be put in place to protect us from this? Because there's a list. There's a list of men who's been victimized by false accusations. Because the court of public opinion does its damage long before the court of law can have anything to do with it. Because again, 48 hours after it was made public on social media, and after all the slander that went through for JD, and you want to know something? All of you fans, all of you new fans is coming out in support of him. The vast majority of you slandered him on social media from the start, so I'm gonna need you to go the fuck away. Keep that same energy and go the fuck away. Because you didn't support him or listen to him at first. You're nothing but fucking headliners that's only going to react to what's in front of you, to a bunch of words that's in front of you, instead of doing research and not being ignorant of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't cheat. She cheated twice during the marriage.
That we know of.
That we know of. No video suggested that JD went out of his way to cheat on her. Crazy to me, right? He actually attempted to walk away from her. He actually walked away from her numerous times, as it was spoken about in the audio. It was spoken about in the audio that he walked away numerous times, but she would still chase him. Security guards saying that they have to pull her away from him.
Yep.
But yet he's still the aggressor. But yet he's still the beater. Right? Right. Whenever he puts his hands up, she doesn't flinch. There was an actual video that was on Facebook where she put her hand up,
he flinched.
and he flinched. He flinched and looked at her worried, like she was about to hit him in direct public. But I guess she's still the victim, right? You know, this has nothing to do... Before I even get into that, what this also does too is that the Me Too movement was created to oust people who were actual perpetrators of shit that shouldn't be getting away with it.
You're right.
But what she does is put so much damage on the Me Too movement, to the point that the next time any woman comes forward because it was originally established because women were so scared to come forward because nobody would believe them. But now with the Me Too movement, it was because of the fact that it's because these people needed to be ousted for the shit that they were doing. So now this puts a hurting on the Me Too movement because of the fact that now the next time someone comes forward, they're going to be like, what if you're lying like AH?
Where's the evidence?
The only thing they're going to be asking is, where's the evidence? It's like, it's so much deeper than two celebrities bickering. This is going on in our society today.
Right.
This is going on in regular society. It's just not publicized because the media already has their own agenda of what they want you to see.
Right.
There's a lot more shit to talk about. But what I want to talk about right now is this is what happens in society today about how false accusations are so powerful. These accusations are so powerful. Social media is too powerful. It's too powerful. These game developers, movie producers, they live in a box because all they work in is a box. So what they see on social media is what they perceive to be what the whole country represents. And it's not the case. It's ridiculous. I'm like, you guys are talking about like the UK trial. Like, the man literally sat there. He was like presenting this evidence. The judge was just like, yeah, fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. Body cam footage of No marks on her. Yeah, fuck that. That doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a beater. Yeah, you're still a beater. She talked about makeup that she put on her face to cover bruises that didn't even exist.
And
it came into production this year.
Right.
You're talking about makeup that you put on your face years ago to cover up bruises.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't even exist. The company outed you on Twitter for lying about that.
Right.
She's still a victim. He's still wrong. She's still a victim. This is the society we live in today. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. People, what we need to stand up and we need to defend ourselves. We need to defend ourselves. This is crazy about how you could stand up and say, this person did it.
When he did nothing.
When they did nothing. You broke things around the house. You broke something that almost got his finger cut off. He got pissed off and agitated. Oh yeah, you know, somebody lost $600 million of my fucking dollars. I'm gonna be pretty fucking pissed off too. If I had an opportunity to be rich, because best believe $600 million, shit, I can use that right now. I don't know about you. I can use $600 million right now.
I could do a lot with that.
Shit, you wouldn't even fucking hear from me. I wouldn't be on this shit talking. I'd just be living my fucking life. I need a hobby or something to get away from the fact that I can't make a livable wage. Out fucking outrageous. Outrageous. It's like, we're not protected in this society at all. We're not. Regular Joe Schmoes like us, we're not protected at all. Because the moment somebody comes out with an accusation, we're fucked. It's just an accusation. It's just being accused of something. There's no evidence because you're guilty until proven innocent in the court of public opinion.
When it's supposed to be innocent until proven
in the court of law, you're innocent until proven guilty. In the court of public opinion, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
Look at all the followers that's happened now. And that is the worst of it. And that's exactly why that's exactly why people have to understand. People really have to do their research and dive into this shit and understand. The only reason that I'm even invested this much in the celebrity life, because as everybody knows, and I've said this numerous times over the Blue Collar Losers podcast that I was invested in for a while, and even in this particular situation here, I've never been really truly invested in a celebrity's life. But I'm invested in this particular trial here because of the fact that it is not just happening there. It's happening in our regular society. It's just nobody fucking sees it. Because you gotta go... Exactly, because you just gotta go to page 40 on the New York Post to see something that you see on page 1. To see something that you would see on page 1 if you were rich. There's so many things that's wrong in our society today, but this is one of the things that's so major because these are things that stick with you for the rest of your life. You get falsely accused of sexual harassment and rape. You are literally, and you get convicted off of a false accusation. You're literally a sexual predator for the rest of your life. You have to be on that list for the rest of your life.
Because somebody didn't want to.
Because somebody wanted to lie about it. That is the thing that's most disheartening more than anything. The damage that's caused from false accusations is unreal. You're a felon. If you get tagged with domestic violence, she could beat the hell out of you. But if she says that you're the person who hit her and you're tagged with assault, assault's a felony now.
Yeah.
All around. There's no misdemeanor that for assault. You're a straight felon now. So you can't go nowhere. You can't really enjoy any freedoms if you get wrongly convicted. Fellas, please be careful. Please be careful. We are not protected in this society at all. We are not. It is something that is like it's hitting me in the core here. It hits me in the core because it's like, damn, like it's insane how a false accusation that's put in place has created this much damage.
Yeah.
Someone who's acting like a victim, when the true victim is the one that's been dealt all the damage.
Mm-hmm.
All the evidence that's put in place, it's still not enough. Somehow he's still at fault
For something he never contributed to being at fault of, but yet
both of them used drugs and alcohol. She was actually drinking more than him, but somehow he's at fault because both of them were using drugs and alcohol. So her history of domestic violence, her history of drugs and alcohol use prior to even marrying this guy doesn't matter? No, it only matters because of the fact that he's accused of beating the shit out of her when he's gotten the shit beat out of him numerous times by this woman. And at no point in time, even the police's integrity was questioned. This was crazy to me. Heard's lawyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to me. Literally sat there and tried to question the integrity of the police. Asked them the same question like 30 times, but in 30 different ways. The lighting was good. There was no marks on her. How many different ways do you want the motherfuckers to answer you on that?
They was gaslighting, hoping that they would give a
different answer
that would prove liable to their case.
Exactly.
Gaslighting. How are you a professional gaslighting?
Yeah.
Deadass. How are you supposed to be a professional or specialize in analytical behaviors or legislative and judicial behaviors and textbook bylaws, but you're gaslighting someone who's being straightforward with you on the stand under oath? Something's wrong with that. Wouldn't you agree, bro?
I wanted to wait a minute because the fucking plane was going by, but
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is this to close this out, okay? Right now, we live in a society right now where the court of public opinion does more damage than the court of law as of right now, where you lose your livelihood. You lose your livelihood off of accusations. There's no convictions. If there was a conviction, I get that. If I was convicted of something and I got fired from my job because I was convicted, that's different. But if I get accused and I get fired off of an accusation, why are you trying to save face so fucking quick? Social media is not public relations.
No, it's not.
Social media is not the voice of every single fucking person in this world. These are individuals that got something to say. That's it. They don't represent the entire fucking world's opinion. It's one person putting a fucking comment. And it doesn't matter if there's 2,000 negative fucking comments. That doesn't go, it doesn't fucking matter.
To put it down like this as an end, it's sad that a false accusation can hold more weight than a proven conviction.
Yes.
I'll just leave it at that.
When will it end? When will it end? At what point does this end? At what point is it not okay? Can the false accusations, can the false accusers get punished to the same extent as the people who are victims of the false accusations? Can we do that? Can we get a law put in place to protect everybody from false accusations? Because now there is a law that's put in place where you can't call the cops on somebody for no fucking reason now. You can't just sit there and make up a fucking scenario for calling the cops, because now that's a felony. You can't do that now. That's actually been put in place. So can we do that the same thing for false accusers as well? Can we do that as well? Because you know goddamn well, if you go on social media and you say you're a victim of domestic violence, especially as a woman, they're gonna say, who the fuck did it?
Mm-hmm.
But if a man goes on social media and says, I'm a victim of domestic violence, how come you didn't walk away? I'm gonna leave it at that.